cell phones on, stay out, please. Just get up and say a prayer, please. Bill? Jackson? How many do it?
God of heaven, God of earth, God of all the universe, we give you honor and glory tonight as we meet in this chamber to deliberate the city's business. We ask that you be present where you have said 2 or 3 are gathered, you'll be there to help us decide the needs for the city of Keene in a civil and business-like manner. These things we ask in the name of your Son, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Thank you. All right.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag, I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Yeah. Ms. Beeson, Rob? Everybody good?
Is early
Mr.
voting
Bells, you
taking
ready?
place?
You got anything you want to say? You? Okay.
Mayor? And this word of vote paper that we have, it says early voting is taking place here at the City Hall.
Was there an issue with that, Mr. Foster?
I just know in the past we've had to go to Cleburne to early vote, so I just wanted to make double sure that
Thank you.
all the citizens knew that we were voting here
Yes.
at the City Hall for this time.
Good, thank you. Okay. Mayor Pro Tem Johnson, Council, thank you for this opportunity. I'm here to invite you to a town hall regarding the charter amendments, the proposed charter amendments. 6 p.m. this Sunday at Wharton Auditorium on the SWAU campus. Admission is free. We have a panel that includes Charter Commission Chairperson Cheryl Schramm, Robert Bradbury, a member of the commission, Chuck Easley, a member of the commission. This will just be straightforward, no hyperbole, simply going to go over each proposed charter amendment and explain it and indicate why it's being up for vote. Now, there will be questions from the audience, and people will be limited to 3 minutes, 3 minutes, and so, you know, there could be some for or some pro or con discussion there, but not from the panel. The panel will simply present each proposed charter amendment, and we'll go from there. So 6 p.m. Sunday, free admission, Wharton Auditorium at SWAU. Okay, thank you.
Go ahead.
There you go. Samantha Gillen, 218 West 4th Street, Keene, Texas. I just wanted to say that Mr. Betla has done a whole lot for our city. He's retiring. And so we're going to have a little get-together for about an hour and a half, come and go on Monday night on the 21st for about an hour, hour and a half. So everybody can just come and visit with him a little bit. Go type of situation, tell him farewell, and we really appreciate everything he's done for us.
Thank you, Ms. Gillen.
Yeah, right here at the chamber. I mean,
Hey, Don, hold on, Phil, he was first.
between 6 and 7:30.
Hey, Don, come on up, sir.
I think it's in
Okay, I'm sorry, come on up. Jackson?
If I may, I just want to clarify the early voting locations for the citizens of Keene, Texas, and their City of Keene general election. The addresses available to our citizens are 103 South Walnut Street, Cleveland, Texas, 76033. They'll find that to be the Johnson County Elections Administration's office. The other location is the Community Center, 1000 North Old Betsy Road, Cleveland, Texas, 76031. Thank you.
You got something, Stephanie, you want to say? Okay, thank you. You could come up here, engineer. I don't know your name, I'm sorry.
This is
Yeah.
Derek Turner with Jacob Martin. Good evening, Mayor Pro Tem, Council. We're on agenda item number 7A. Basically, what we want to do is we're going to discuss with you tonight and hopefully make a decision. The City of Keene was ordered a TDA CDBG grant number CDV 23-0359 to reconstruction a portion of Fairview Street from East 4th Street to approximately East Hillcrest Street. This project qualified for the grant because of the Annex Center and the food bank on it should say 1st Street, my apologies, which are utilized by the whole community. So that was the reason we qualified for that grant. Jacob and Martin prepared the bid documents and plans, solicited bids. Several contractors paid for and received the bid package. However, only 2 bids were received on the final day of the bid process. Both of the received bids were well over the amount of the grant and matching funds by almost $130,000. City staff and engineers believe this is due to the timing of the project, which is not the typical time of year for repaving streets. Normally that's in the summertime. And this one would take place basically in the winter. So this is usually done during the warmer months. So some of the options would be approve a motion to rebid the project towards the end of the year. And then, for next paving season, hopefully we'll get more bids and, the prices will be a little more competitive. Or it says approve the lowest bid received and then come up with additional funds, which is $129,921.50 to complete the project. Or we would have to shorten the project to bring it to that dollar amount, but we can only shorten it from the 4th Street side going north. We couldn't shorten it from the 1st Street side because that's the whole reason we got the bid in the first place, is because of the food bank. So that's what we're here to talk about tonight. If you have any questions, Mr. Derek Turner from Jacob and Martin is here.
Is there a timeline in which we have to use the funds?
Yes, there's a deadline on the grant with the city has a contract with the state. It's February 2026. So there should be plenty of time to get it done.
Allocate the funds, right?
Well, construction would have to be
What was the date again?
February of 2026.
Oh, 26, okay.
Yeah, 26. Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Go ahead,
I,
Thomas.
I have a question here. Is this the same grant that Mayor Lisa Parish facilitated $500,000, or is it part of it?
I'm not sure.
She was part of the process, yes.
Okay. Okay, thank you, thank you.
Anybody else? Rob?
Yeah, so in your professional opinion, then, you think that we'd come in under the 500,000 if we waited a couple of months?
Yes, but I want to be clear that we can't, I can't predict
I know.
100% one way or the other. But what we would do is, we had some deductible alternates in the bid, but it wasn't enough to get you down below what we needed. So we would make sure there were enough alternates to give you an opportunity to act one way or the other. But we talked to several contractors. There were a couple of different things that we were told were going on. Some of the contractors that would typically bid a project in this area of this size had multiple bids going out at the same time, and some of them just didn't bid it because they couldn't take the chance, they couldn't handle more than one. And some of them said that it was just the time of year. They typically, they look at them, you know, depending on the job, they might bid them, but more likely they would hold off, so I think we'll, at a minimum, get more bidders, which would tend to lead you to think we would get better bids.
So I think we should table it till January then?
Yes, yes, sir.
And then I have a question here. This just reminds me of one of the several concerns I've had from the citizens. So how are we going to make sure that when we are doing the repaving of this street, that it will not turn out the way I'm hearing some of the streets that have been repaved, like Mesoto, that was done a few years ago, and the residents cannot be able to even use a stroller. If you have a stroller, they use a different grade of material. Will there be an option for that to make sure that we are giving the best contractor for this job that can be able to produce high quality product for us?
There are a couple of things. One, and I don't know what took place on Mistletoe specifically, but Shady Oaks, okay.
No, Mesoto. Shady Oak is a different problem of its own.
Anyway, so there's a few things we do and can do. One is we have, you know, we've taken core samples of the road to make sure we know what's underneath, and design the road accordingly so that you don't have, you know, if you don't have a good base underneath the road, then you tend to have problems. Being careful about the selection of the contractor. You know, this is a low bid situation, but you still have some opportunity to make sure the contractors that are bidding it, that are allowed to bid it, have adequate amount of experience. And then lastly, testing and inspecting during the project would be another way to make sure that the quality control is adequate. And so that will be done as well.
Okay. And then final question. I know some years back we did 4th Street. We did repave 4th Street. And right now, if you drive on one of the streets like Santa Fe and 4th Street, maybe 40 miles an hour or 35 miles an hour, you know, it's a very rough drive. Can we be able to allow for these kind of scenarios where we can overbuild a little bit? I know it costs more when you deviate a little bit to make sure that we are building all these projects to suit the soil, because we have had many times we are blaming the soil because we have bad soil. That's why the roads can't hold. So is there an option for that?
Sure. And so in this particular project, we built in alternates also to increase the subgrade treatment, which, you know, based on the cores we've got, you get a certain percentage of chemical treatment that you do on the subgrade, and we're allowing for potentially additional treatment. But as you said, overbuild, I mean, that's an option too. That's just something we would have to, if you directed us to, we would put it as a pay item in the contract to make a thicker pavement or a heavier base.
Okay, thank you.
I have a question on that. Are we going to put new water pipe and sewer? Is that included or no?
Replacing the sewer services that cross the road is included.
Okay, how about,
Sir?
go ahead.
We're not proposing to replace main lines.
No main lines?
And I think that the thinking is they're in good shape. Some of them are outside the pavement, and
Okay.
they're not that.
All right, that's what I was wondering. No, that's what go ahead, I'm sorry, Don.
Yeah, we looked at that prior to this project, and that was why one of these streets were chosen, because there wasn't gonna be a lot of utility needed to be replaced. The sewer line is newer, it's not clay tile, it's just the services coming out. When they replaced the main line, they only replaced the new PVC to the cleanouts that go to each property, just to the middle of the street. They didn't go all the way across. So that's why in this bid packet, I think there was 23 service connections. So those will be new from the main across.
Okay, no, I understand what you're saying.
The water line was replaced 15 years ago, and it's in good shape.
Okay, All right, thank you, sir.
So based on staff's recommendation, you're looking for a motion to rebid.
Correct.
I didn't mean to cut you off.
Don, I think Mr. Gutwa may be a little mistaken. I think a previous city public works director did part of Fourth Street. I don't know that we had the proper engineering on that. Am I correct?
I'm not sure what portion of Fourth Street you're talking about.
Well, it'd be from Mrs. Gillen's property to Old Betsy, or from Magnolia.
That, I
Is that
believe,
the
was
section we're talking about,
done-
Mr. Gutwa?
Yeah, there are different sections there.
Yeah, a lot of that
It
was
was
done.
done whether
It
it was by the city staff or a
Right.
contractor.
Right, without proper engineering like we're doing on this one, so we'll be good.
Hope so.
Yes, I mean, we look at all that before we delve into those situations.
So all said, I'd like to make a motion to table this until December.
Or
Well,
you actually make a motion to rebid it, right?
rebid it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Rebid it.
Rebid.
I'll second that.
Call for the vote. Guess you can call for the vote now.
Yeah, okay, yeah, what am I thinking about? How many votes? How many people going to vote?
Everybody in favor?
Everybody in favor? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. All favored?
Unanimous. Perfect.
Thank you.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
guys.
You're
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, council, and thank you for accommodating our schedule.
Oh,
Thank
you're
you.
fine. You have a great day.
Get you off the payroll.
We're going to go back to 4 again. I guess start with A. Receiving and discussing the city manager report.
Good evening, Mayor Pro Tem, council, and citizens. I sincerely hope that everybody's enjoying the fall weather that finally got here, so I'm happy to see that. I'll be brief. Just a quick reminder about Starfest. It'll be October 31st, held at the Public Safety Complex, the police and fire departments. Please attend, and please help us get the advertisements out. It's all free except for the vendors there, so bring a little pocket money for the tasty food that'll be there as well. We do have a Starfest meeting coming up this next Tuesday. Along with, right after that, so the Starfest meeting will be at 5 o'clock Tuesday, and the Christmas Marketplace meeting is also going to be that same Tuesday, 22nd, at 5:30. I will say that we've got a lot going on in this building at that particular time, but we will get it worked out, and we'll find a place where we can all sit down and talk. So if you're interested in serving on either of those committees, please stop by, and we look forward to it. Sir?
I was trying to write this down and probably got something crossed. You said the Starfest meeting is 5 o'clock Tuesday,
Correct.
and so is the Christmas.
Christmas Marketplace meeting is also the same Tuesday at 5:30. Both are in this building.
Thank you.
The rooms that we typically use are not going to be available, but we will find room for it, and we'll make it work. A quick report from Derek in Public Works. They've been doing quite a bit, cleaning up some of the areas around town, in specifically County Road 414, and then also along, some of the rights-of-way along 317. And I've asked Don Martin to give a quick report on any of the projects that we have going on so that you're aware of where we're at.
Well, hello again. Try to be quick and brief. The Canyons has about 90% of their streets poured. They just have the intersections, some of the cul-de-sacs and the storm drain tie-ins for the storm drains, so they're moving along really well. Ashton Home Place, which is off of Old Mansfield, 805 has about 16 homes under construction, including their model home, which will be their sales office, and they've had 23 permits approved to build homes in that subdivision over there. Sunset Ridge, which is off of Business 67, just west of Old Betsy Road, they're gonna start pouring their streets tomorrow morning. I was out this afternoon checking the rebar, so that'll probably take them about a week to get the majority of the streets poured concrete-wise. Tractor Supply is moving along. We issued their permits on Monday for them to start demolition of the old home and actually start construction on that project. And then Allsups is looking at mid-November to be open and up and running. So, anybody has any questions?
I do.
Sure.
Wasn't there some discussion about working with the county to widen that road out there where Ashton Place is?
Not that I'm aware of. That was kind of before I came back into development services. And technically, that road still belongs to the county. When we annex the property, we haven't annexed the road yet. I know,
Do you remember that conversation, or am I the only one? All right.
but I know TxDOT has plans to extend the service road from Old Betsy down to that road and the following one in their 5- and 10-year plan. So, and they're also doing an off-ramp in their 5-year plan, I believe, coming off of like where the light at South College to come down to Old Betsy instead of having you turn onto South College and then Wallen Ridge. So they're looking at an off-ramp there as well. So those are all in the works. It just takes a few years to get done.
For the Ashton home, the 16 homes, is that part of the 23, or is that 16 plus 23?
It's part of the 23.
Okay, very good.
And it seems like every day they're turning in a handful more and for approval.
That's excellent.
Council, that will conclude the city manager's report unless you have any questions. The next item on your agenda is the finance report. Mayor Pro Tem, can I proceed with that? Thank you. I do want to let everybody know that that report is in your packet. Staff from the Finance Department was unable to attend tonight's meeting. It has been submitted for your review, and if you have any questions, please contact the Interim Finance Director. The year-end financial report will be provided at the November council meeting.
Is that all you have to say?
Yes, sir.
All right. We're going to go to 5, public hearing on it.
Actually, go to the,
Anybody got?
I don't think there are any public hearings. Yeah, I don't think there are any. I think there are no public hearing items tonight, so you can skip that.
Any consent, agree, granted? Anybody got any more, something they want to say about that? Council?
Okay, Mayor Pro Tem, is it open for discussion? If it is ready to be voted, I can say I would like to remove the item C from the consent agenda. And if it's okay, I can make a motion to approve the rest.
Second.
I'm sorry, what did you take? You took something off the agenda? The consent
Mr. Gutwa asked for C to come
Item
out
C.
and to pass the other two, and I seconded it.
Okay. So there's a motion to approve the consent agenda, the whole thing?
Motion to approve consent agenda A and
As
B,
presented,
Oh.
except
Just
except
A-
C.
Just A,
Yeah,
just
A, B.
A and B
A and B only.
only.
Okay. So you removed C, so.
Yeah.
So I guess we'll need a motion to approve consent agenda items A and B only.
That's what he just did.
Okay.
I seconded it, yeah.
I guess we can call a vote on that.
Anybody want to, vote on it, please? Go ahead.
Yeah. An A and B?
Yeah, I second it, yeah. We ready?
All in favor?
It's consent.
I'm abstaining because I wasn't here for either A or
Okay.
Yeah.
All in favor?
So it's 401.
Yeah.
All
So it-
all in favor.
Yeah, so it still passes.
Right.
Now, C,
So C is a separate item for discussion now.
Yes, and the reason why I moved this one is we might want to look at the previous meeting that one was on October 3rd, 2024. And we had an item that was 7B, that was review, discussion, and give direction to city staff for drafting an ordinance regulating donation collection boxes. And I might want maybe the council to chip into this one, because after voting, supporting for this resolution, it came, I came to learn that some of our nonprofit organizations within the city limits have some of these collection boxes. And I did support it, but I was kind of asking a question, if there was no any other that were going to be impacted, like collection boxes. And at the time that we were voting for this, we did not have that kind of information. So I don't know how.
I mean, this point, it's just the minutes are corrected. I mean, you don't have the thing, you don't have an ordinance in front of you on the donation bin. So whenever that comes in front of you, and if you change your mind, I mean, this is not a motion, the minutes don't reflect that
Any action.
you're gonna approve it. It's just basically you sent you chose an option for the city attorney to bring you something. So unless there's something wrong with the minutes, or you want a correction in the minutes.
The minutes are
it's
correct.
And it's okay, I mean, the minutes are
yes.
okay. If you think they need to be worded different, but if the concern is that you're changing your mind from something in the minutes, and you still approve the minutes as is, but when the item comes to you for discussion, then you can decide that, maybe I don't want to ban the boxes.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
So does that still give the city staff an option to continue to get that resolution written to ban them, or?
Yes. Yeah.
And then once it
But
comes
hasn't been
back,
voted.
you'll be able to tell them
Yes
not to
or no?
do that because we have new information. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, basically, at this point, you're just trying to approve that this is basically what we discussed. If you've got a different opinion, then when the ordinance comes to you, then you can say, well, I don't want to do that, I want to make this change, or send it back to but there's nothing on the agenda tonight that would allow the council to rediscuss that topic. So, I mean, it's okay to point out, but if the minutes are correct, then I'd recommend you approve them. But just so everybody knows that when the lawyer does provide you an ordinance, there's additional information that's come to light that you may be asked some more questions, may want to take a different look at it.
Okay. Yeah, that's why I brought it up, so that we are aware of that, even though we are going to approve the minutes as presented. Then I'll move to approve the minutes for October 3rd, 2024.
Second.
All in favor?
Perfect.
Mayor Pro Tem, if I can, just some information regarding that particular item for council's consideration. As directed, that's already been presented to the city attorney, and the draft is in process. We expect that it'll be presented to council for review and/or vote next meeting, which I believe will be, the sitting council here will be at that meeting.
Thank you.
Okay, so that one's been already done. Now we'll go to executive section.
Yeah, it looks like, right now, the council pursuant to Open Meetings Act would like to convene to executive session under section 551074 personnel matters to discuss and consider the appointment of an interim city manager. So it's basically whatever time it is now.
It's gonna be 6:29.
6:29, we're going into closed session.
We convene out the executive section at 7:01. We need somebody to
Make a motion.
motion, please.
After deliberation in executive session, I make a motion that we appoint Gary Heinrich as interim city manager for the effective Monday for a period of 4 weeks,
Second.
or until
Who
our
second?
city manager is available.
Who second? James? Okay. All in favor, stand? Do I have to do it?
No.
Okay.
Or you can vote too. I mean, you're allowed to vote. Yeah. You should vote.
You abstaining? Are you voting?
Oh, you are calling for the vote?
Well, Gary,
Yeah, you call for the first one, so
right.
for and against, so you haven't
Huh?
called you haven't called the second one. You said for?
Oh, for, against, you're asking for
Against,
against now. Okay,
abstaining,
that's all
so-
four.
Yeah,
And now
so
you ask anybody against it.
against.
Yeah, okay, so it's
1, 2, 3. 5 against, 4 against 1?
5-1.
5.
5 against, okay, I didn't know if I
Five
could say me or
Yeah,
not.
you count.
Okay.
Mayor Pro Tem, may I ask if our to-be city manager who's present could say a few words?
Yes, sir.
If you'd like to.
Come on up.
Here.
You feel like you're on the spot? Just anything.
Good evening. Thanks, I guess, for having me here. Although I have not officially begun, I am anxious to get here and get to work. I have had the pleasure now of meeting with 3 of the 4 directors for a couple hours. Great group of leaders that we have in this city. Looking forward to working with them, getting their insight as to what the needs are and future concerns. And I think we're going to work really, really well together. Chief Warner, Chief Kidd, and Don. He was very patient with me. Spent a couple hours looking at our city on the screen, looking at water lines, sewer lines, commercial property, just looking to where we can develop this great city of ours. Telling me about some of the future excitement. I've tried to come to as many meetings as I can. Hung out at the Star Fest, and again, where I think there's some great things some great ideas to make that better, and I had no idea that it had gotten so big. I think the last time I attended, there was probably 500, and when they're telling me there's now thousands of people coming to this great little city, that is awesome. And then, a lot of development that is in the works. Dawn shared with me some of the possibilities. I've taken the initiative. If you all don't mind, I met with the Senior Vice President of Kittle on the phone this morning. He sent me information so that I can get caught up on this project. I'm very interested in data points for, to address any potential concerns or that the council may have. And I've met with some of you to talk about those concerns, so I'm trying to get my arms wrapped around that. But I'm super excited. I'm very excited for the possibilities of this town. I look forward to working, with you or, whoever my next round of bosses will be that come in. Any questions for me, I guess, at this point? My current employer has been very generous in allowing me kind of some freedom so that I've kind of been setting up shop working in Keene so I can get to know the team that I'll be stepping in shoulder to shoulder with. Got to meet with Holly. It's just been a lot of fun for me. So I'm very anxious. I'm sorry I'm not starting as soon as you would like, but I think it's very important that A, I do right by my current employer, and B, I clear the mechanism so that when I step in, I'm not distracted. I want to make sure that when I hit the ground, I hit the ground running. Any questions for me at this point from any of you?
We need you to start in the next 2 weeks. I'm talking to you.
No. At this point, I am looking at Monday, the 18th of November, just because my final day is November 4th. Now I will say, if for some reason they decide they're done with me and release me early, I will start early. But I do have some things I need to take care of personally that I do need to, like I said, I just don't want to be distracted when I get in here. So, so the 18th is what I'm looking at right now to start. So, but any questions? No? All right. Well, if anyone needs to get a hold of me, please call me. Right now, I'm working for free, so already saving the city money.
Mayor Pro Tem,
Go ahead.
City Attorney, is it okay if I can just, because we did vote, we did not call for discussion or anything regarding my decision for voting no?
Why you voted the way you voted?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, that's
It's in the same meeting. So,
council comments that we can.
Yes, council comment.
Since it's going back to it, yeah, you can.
yes, and I'll be brief. And by me voting no, I have some concerns with the process, not with Gary Henrik. I respect our former mayor. I have supported him in the past, but I had some concerns with the process, and has nothing to do with the Mayor Gary Henrik. So I voted no for interim city manager because of the process, and I did raise some concerns. Thank you.
You got something you want to say, Ms. Gill?
Yes, I am so glad I got off Facebook, but there was one problem.
What
I
are you saying?
overbooked.
I can't hear you. What are you saying?
I said, I am not on Facebook anymore.
Okay.
I read some of this stuff, but evidently I didn't read that there's a meet and greet for Rob Foster and Gwen Beeson and James Bells at the Mountain Coffee Place here in Keene that same night. So we'll plan our other deal right after that, hopefully at the same place if Nellie will let me. Okay, sorry about that, guys.
Thank you.
Call me next time if you're putting it on Facebook.
Thank you.
So it's a future agenda item.
Future agenda item. Anybody have anything they want to talk about or put on there? I'd like to put one on there for a full-time lawyer for the next meeting.
Your Pat Chester, your
Pat
full-time
Chester,
city attorney.
full-time attorney, correct. Anybody got something to say about that?
Well, we can't really talk about it. I mean, you just talk about that you want to talk about it later.
Fine, okay, thank you.
But this is just adjourned.
The journey is at 7.
Read that. 7:10.
7:10.
All right.